This podcast is brought to you by the Podtower, hosted by the Watchtower database. Visit youtube.com/thepodtower for informative, hilarious DC animation-themed podcasts and live streams every week. And check out the Watchtower database for DCAU video essays, timelines, fan theories, and more. And please, enjoy the show.
Why are you so dancey?
I don't know. I've got music in my soul.
I'm going to guess what music you have playing in your head right now. So you just keep dancing at that tempo.
Okay.
And I'm going to play this, and I think... Yeah, okay, ready?
Uh-huh. That was close.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I expect. It's like the dancing Spider-Man, but it's you, and you're dancing to Meshuggah.
And I'm wearing Batman ears. Get up on the Hydra's back.
Well, that's enough of that. Oh, we didn't sing. 3, 2, 1.
No, we did it.
You would have been fine without that, wouldn't you?
I don't know. We'll sync to the sounds of me dancing. There's a clothing rubbing sounds. Everyone can see I'm such a good dancer too.
Yeah. We do way too much visual commentary on this podcast, don't we?
Yeah. Look at Brian's face. Look at his stupid face he's making. I could see it. That was a kind of a Scott Steele type of face.
Was it? Was that a Woodrow face?
It's a little Woodrow-y, yeah. But it was somewhere between Woodrow and Scott actually like having that reaction. So
that's my specialty.
You have a plastic man moldy face. You have a clay face. That's a better reference for a thing you've already seen.
Thank you.
Let me just talk about a character that we haven't gotten to. Anyway,
I appreciate you comparing me to Beans anyway.
You are Beans.
Thanks. You
got a Welcome to Night Vale shirt. You talked about that on the podcast at some point.
Did I?
I think so.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Welcome back to Jump on the Bat-Wagon. I'm James, and I'm here to show my friend Brian. That's Brian over there.
And I'm Brian.
The DC Animated Universe, that's what it's called. From start to finish for the very first time ever. He's never seen it. We're going to watch this in a controversial air date order. People don't necessarily expect us to do that, you see. So that he may view these shows the way human beings experienced them in the far gone days of the 1900s. We recommend you watch today's DC... should I change it to that? I've been thinking about it. Yeah, okay. We recommend you watch today's DCAU episode before listening to this podcast to get the full experience out of our discussion. I can't make you do that, but I can make Brian do that at the time of this recording. 12:35
p.m.
Batman the Animated Series is streaming on HBO Max. It'll be Max maybe by the time you hear this. I don't know. And available on DVD and Blu-ray. That's the opposite of... Wait, what's the opposite of blue on the color wheel? Is it like a orangey yellow?
Orange.
Orangey reddish?
Yeah.
Ray?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay.
Orange. What's the opposite of a ray?
Yar. Today we're watching... but... Where do you stand on the great Blu-ray DVD battle of 2013? We probably haven't talked about on the podcast, but
you know what? I would love to take this moment to just check the egos of any smug people out there who are really on the hey. 4K is so much better than 1080 bandwagon. Because what is Blu-ray's resolution?
Like a normal Blu-ray?
Yeah.
Is 1080p. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's 4K Ultra whatever Blu-ray also.
Okay. People, we're going to go back in time a little bit. The first...
Wait. Hang on. I got that perfect sound. It's this. Now we've gone back in time.
Hell yeah. Okay.
It's so lovely here in yesterday.
So the first air quotes like HD resolution.
Yes. This
was
is what the
720.
podcast is about. Continue.
Yeah. I'm going to make this as quick as
I brought it up. Do it.
So 720 was your first like HD, and then then it came out with 1080, and everyone was like, "Oh my god,
that's more.
That looks incredible!"
More pixels,
and it did. It's a pretty significant-ish upgrade.
For reference, 720p is like whatever it was, HD Blu-ray or something. Or no, sorry, DVD is what I'm trying to say. HD DVD.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also the resolution, like these numbers are directly related to the amount of vertical pixels.
Pixels. I see where you're going
on your
with
screen.
this.
Yes, thank you. So
we may have already done this. Also, like this feels familiar, but maybe we just did it in person.
I do this rant a lot. So it's delete it if you need to. So 720 vertical pixels, and then we upgraded to 1080 vertical pixels.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sizable jump because with less resolution.
That's 1080p.
Yes, P's not actually for pixel, but all the same.
It's not.
And when you have like 480 pixels, and you have 720 pixels, and you have 1080, like the increments are it's a bigger deal because you have less of them to begin with. I'm going to do my best Hank Greening here. And then they come out with 1080.
P refers to progressive scan.
Yes, it does. I is interlaced.
Which
There's
I
only
knew.
half as much information on the screen if you have interlaced.
Yes.
Go
This is
look
all
it up.
making sense so far.
Yeah. And so I realized I messed up a second ago, so I'm going to re-say this.
This is all staying in.
So then 4K came out.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, wow, 4K. That's
4,000.
basically 4 times the resolution. But it's not.
Or at least twice, they said. Because some people call 1080p 2K now, which is not,
it isn't.
It's still not that.
You know what is 2K?
The year that all the computers shut off because we were
Close.
Oh.
Close. You know what a 2K would actually be?
What?
What we call 4K.
Oh, wow.
You know why?
No.
Because the vertical resolution of a 4K image is 2100 roughly pixels. That's 2K. What they are what they're claiming the resolution to be is the horizontal resolution, which, because it's a sideways rectangle, is longer. But you know what the kicker is, Jamie? That's not even 4,000 pixels. It's 3,800 pixels. So 4K doesn't even hit the 4,000 pixel dimension, even in the wrong way.
Yeah, they want it to sound as good as possible, as cool as possible. Yeah, when I just got my new camera, I went into the settings to see what frame rates can I shoot at 4K, and it dropped significantly to you got these two, and
30 and 60 maybe.
Yeah, it's I think it's 24 and 30, but either way, I don't care. I'm just saying it's fun, and I know that that's for a different reason. It's good for file size something or the
it's probably the camera's processor.
As I almost said, the motor.
Same thing.
You have to pull the ripcord to turn on the camera. But keeping up with it and stuff. But just the fact that it's almost sitting there we know this isn't really, it's not actually what you think it is.
Yeah. And to be fair, it is a higher resolution. It's not as much of an upgrade as even or as much of the ratio or whatever isn't as much of an upgrade as 720 to 1080's jump was.
I think it's more
proportionately is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, sure.
Because you go from we don't have 1,000 pixels to now we have 1,000 pixels to now we're okay, 2,100. Yeah. So you're doubling it. You're doubling it, but it's not as I don't know.
It's also I have a 70-inch TV in my living room. And I'll watch a 10, if I watch a DVD, I can definitely tell, whoa, this looks worse. But then when I watch a Blu-ray or a 4K Blu-ray, it looks identical I can't tell. Even when I'm standing right in front of the TV, I'm this is the same thing. And I know that's if you're a listener and you like, I can tell, great, good for you. I don't give a shit. I can't, and it doesn't matter. I don't think most people would. The great Blu-ray debate or fight of 2013 or whatever is with me and Joe, who has been on this podcast for the Racial Ghoul episodes, where it was Joe having the same opinion about DVD to Blu-ray, that he couldn't tell the difference and it didn't matter, and that most people wouldn't care. And I do think now, as time has marched on, and it's been a decade since Joe and I had placed this bet, which was that Blu-ray would overtake DVD in the way that DVD overtook VHS. Mm-hmm. That hasn't quite happened. There is a leaning toward Blu-ray of like, please buy this instead, or like, it's Blu-ray, but it also comes with a DVD, I guess, if you want that for some reason. And I think it was like, there's been a select amount of like the 2014 Godzilla movie, I'm pretty sure only came out on Blu-ray. Like they were like, we're not even going to let you buy this any other way. Mm-hmm. So I think it will happen, and I have till 2030. I have 7 more years before I get slapped the fuck across the face. Which was the outcome of the bet. But today we're watching Batgirl Returns, which was hey, this aired originally Saturday, November 12th, 1994. We skipped 1 week, just like in real life. 10 a.m. on Fox Kids. This is the final produced episode of Batman the Animated Series, production number 85, air number 78. This was written by Michael Reeves and Bryn Stevens. Michael Reeves wrote Vendetta, I Am the Night, and Avatar, and was also the story on several others of our, including some of our favorites like Feet of Clay, Sideshow, and Second Chance. And BS wrote Heart of Steel, Shadow of the Bat, so the other 2 Batgirl episodes. And then teleplay on Sideshow, Birds of a Feather. And this is her final DCAU writing credit. Wow. So this is the last time we get a Bryn Stevens.
Do they have some kind of proprietary something over Batgirl?
I don't know. I thought that was an interesting, maybe just because she was writing the previous 2 Barbara Gordon episodes. She's like, hey, can I do this too, Mr. Michael Reeves? And he's like, I guess I wrote Vendetta, is what he said. This is directed by Dan Reba.
Hey!
He directed Zatanna, Blind as a Bat, See No Evil, Fire from Olympus, Trial, Riddler's Reform, Baby Doll, and Time Out of Joint, and Batgirl Returns. Music by Harvey Cohen. He's done a ton of episodes so far. He's the cousin of Leonard Cohen. There we go. You're just waiting for me to say it myself. I wrote down other stuff that he has written music for before or since. He passed away in 2007, and I don't know if he'll come up too many more times in our podcasting, so I figured I'd let you know some stuff. So this is all either like he was in the orchestrator, in the composer like team, or he was a copyist, so he would like proofread sheet music and copy it over for various instruments and whatever.
Interesting. That's a job?
Yeah, I guess so. So he was the copyist on Batman Returns, which is cool for Danny Elfman. And he was in the composition world of Fox and the Hound, The Little Mermaid,
okay,
All Dogs Go to Heaven, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which is cool, Goof Troop and Bonkers on the Disney Channel, as well as the Aladdin animated series and the Return of Jafar movie. Pinky, Elmira, and the Brain, which was the Pinky and the Brain sequel that included Elmira from Tiny Toons. Doug's first movie, which was also ironically the only Doug movie. South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
What?
Bicentennial Man, Titan AE, Little Nicky.
He's been just around.
Yeah, Recess, School's Out, Dylan's favorite movie. The Master of Disguise, Final Destination 2 and 3, Holes, it's Holes, baby. Down with Love, Team America, Scary,
oh God, yeah.
Scary Movie 4, and then his last was Mission Impossible 3. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff. There's a lot more besides that, but those are the ones that stuck out to me. Oh, and animation by Dong Yang, which we've had for the last dozens of episodes. Are you cleaning the sensor of your camera?
Something like that.
You're looking at it anyway. You're like, hey, does this do 4K?
It's a film camera.
Yeah, so technically, yeah.
So if I scanned it at that resolution, yes.
I love that about that whole debacle also that we just spent way too much time talking about is the like, man, it's this many pixels when you could just like shoot with an IMAX camera and just have this like infinite range that you could go with. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, everyone has IMAX cameras.
I do. I have at least 12.
Oh. I only counted 4 last time I was there. Do you want to go watch Batgirl Returns, man?
Jimmy, I do.
That's the full title.
Oh.
Batgirl Returns, man.
Man.
She returns man to its former glory when make Gotham great again. Let's get out of here.
Boy.
Let's leave. Goodbye.
But I don't know why I said it that way.
Okay. If you're innocent, come down to police headquarters with me and tell them your story.
That's also not my style.
One way or another, you're coming with me.
Bats are just mice with wings, little girl.
Robin!
Just came to investigate the robbery. I didn't expect a convention. Come on, she's getting away.
Robin, wait, she's not...
Here, kitty, kitty.
Bye-bye, birdie. We'll talk again soon.
Well, you were a lot of help.
I tried to tell you she didn't steal the Jade Cat.
How do you know that?
I just know, that's all.
Oh, well, thank you, Miss Psychic. And you call yourself a crime fighter.
If you'd listened instead of just barging in...
Just don't get in my way again, okay?
Dork.
Da, who,
Yeah.
Batgirl, Catwoman on a bicycle.
And they're on a bicycle. It's a motorcycle. And they're doing the speed thing.
Doing the speed.
And you know, stealing shit.
There's a cool, like, btas promo image from back in the day of Catwoman and Batgirl on the motorcycle, and they're wheeling away from the cops. And it's like not a screenshot not a cell from the show. It's like a purposely drawn promotional image, and it looks real good. It looks cool. I like it. It is often used as I'm giving you minor spoilers here, but there will be an art style change to the DCAU starting with Superman. Okay. It's in the first few Superman episodes, it's not like super noticeable, but as it goes on and gets more like honed in, it's definitely noticeable. And when we see the Batman characters again, most of the women are a lot like
voluptuous.
Well, they're less voluptuous is what I'm trying to say. They have tinier figures, and so a lot of people will use the Batgirl Catwoman promotional image as a like, yeah, these characters used to look like women, and now they're just little girls, and I hate it on this stuff. And I always think of that when I watch this episode of those types of people, and I'm just like, oh, I hate it so much.
Yeah,
they're cartoons, please stop. I get it on a certain level, like there are characters in this show that I can recognize, or in this universe that I can recognize as, like, if you were to ask me, oh, who's the hottest like DCAU girl or whatever, like I'd have an answer for you. But it's not something worth like, the boobs used to be bigger. What in the heck I hate this now kind of thing.
So are they more like natural looking? Are they getting like a Barbie makeover?
No, I'd say now in btas they're more natural looking character designs than what we will get later. Yeah. It's just more stylized, more simplified or whatever later. and it's very across the board. Like, men look like this, women look like this, and there's not much change. Like, there's like a Bullock or a something every once in a while that's a different body type, but
Interesting.
the majority of characters will be pretty similar looking. It's something we can talk about later when we get there, but I want to throw that out there because motorcycles, the end. Can you tell me what the fuck happened in this episode, Brian?
Sin-yop. If you're wondering, sin-yop. What you're
I'm doing the little dance.
Sin-yop. Take a listen to the synopsis. The short summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
You're making a face because you remixed the mix and you're not happy with it.
That's exactly right.
It'll be different for the next 5 episodes. It'll be a slightly different, tweaked version of it until we get it the way we want it. I don't know.
Oh, you want me to actually tell you, though, hey?
What?
You want me to tell you about...
Oh, yeah. You should probably tell me what happens in the episode. Batgirl's having a wet dream.
What do you want, dick? Oh, that will just never get old for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody has stolen a priceless statue. And Batgirl's like, you know what? I'm going to stop dreaming about Batman and I'm going to start doing detective work.
Detective. I'm doing the detective. Just like my daughter.
Oh, my. So yeah, Batgirl's all like, I'm gonna solve this, and she gets to the scene of the crime where this cat statue was stolen, and then Catwoman's there, and Batgirl's like, hey, I caught you red-handed,
red-clawed.
I was gonna say it, and then I'm like, that's different.
I caught you, Red Claw. You haven't been at this very long, have you? I got you, Killer Croc. What do I look like? Try again.
So Catwoman's like, no, I didn't do it. I wouldn't look. This has been melted with acid. It's somebody else. Let's team up and figure shit out. And then Batgirl's like, yeah, I don't know. And then Robin's like, I'm here to fuck shit up. And then Catwoman like runs away. And then later on is like, hey, I unran away. Let's do this crime solving together. And they go beat up some dudes in a bar for answers. And they find out from another guy who was Alltooth that...
Dr. Alltooth.
Dr. Alltooth, the chemist.
Yes. You remember the chemist.
Yeah, I love chemistry. I'm not going to forget Dr. Chemist Tooth.
Dr. Alltooth, the chemist. Mr. Chemist himself.
Mr. Tooth. He obviously did an experiment with calcium that went wrong.
Whoopsie.
But he found out that, there's it's somebody in town that would make an acid like that, and wouldn't you know it, it's Roland Daggett, right?
Yeah, it is.
I got that name right.
Rupert Murdoch.
Things. Rupert Murdoch.
Not that, but yeah.
So they're like, hey, let's go find him. And the Batgirl and Catgirl like bust in, and they're like, hey, we found the statue. And then the guy... Rupert Murdoch 2.0.
Rupert Daggett. Roland Murdoch. His son.
Yeah. The second.
Norman Osborn.
Norman Osborn?
That's the Green Goblin. He kind of looks like him.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. So they're like, hey, you came to steal the statue and we're going to shoot you. We needed the money because Batman made me broke. So we're going to put this in a safe for a while and then we're going to sell it. And then Bat and Cat were like, nah. And then there was a fight. And then Robin's like, also nah. And then some guys go away and Catwoman's like, hey, I'm actually going to steal this. And Batwoman is all like, but you made a promise. And then...
promises are forever. You don't break a promise.
And then the Catwoman's like, yep. And then she like got willingly arrested for about 30 seconds and then unarrested herself, and the cops went whoops out of the car. And then Robin's like, I'm gonna catch her, and Batgirl's like, nah. The end.
There'll be more times. Yeah, you can't when the episode's over. We can't right now.
Robin, we physically don't have any more time to do this.
I did like Robin, you mentioned when he swings in, he kicks a guy out of the way, and then when he keeps swinging, like you expect it's going to be Emperor's New Groove style, where he just swings through and past everyone, and then they have to just look at him like trying to come. Well, hang on, and he'll swing back through the other way. Give me a second. There was also a very good moment of them sneaking into Daggett's shut down old laboratory building factory, whatever. And Batgirl being like, this is Roland Daggett's lab. This is where he created the Renew You stuff that turned Matt Hagen into Clayface. And you actually did like a, oh yeah, kind of face. I was like, oh, actually like useful exposition. Thank you. And then Catwoman a second later was like, he was also in the episode Cat Scratch Fever where he did this to me. And it's just like a really like nice, because I was thinking the whole time like, God, it's been a long time since we've seen Roland Daggett or Catwoman, and then you were just like informed immediately of like previously on Batman, and like, oh, thank you.
I mean, it was like, okay, I know the name Roland Daggett, could not immediately place him, so that was legitimately helpful.
And he walked out of the shadows.
Thanks, Danny.
Like, it's the orange-haired one. It's the one with orange hair.
Poison Ivy, you mean?
Yeah. When you first see Catwoman, she has like bright green eyes and big red lips. You're like, it's Poison Ivy in a Catwoman costume. And then I like thought like, oh, that's ridiculous. But I think the last time we saw Poison Ivy was in Trial, where she was disguised as like a statue or something. So it's not out of the question. But yeah, you want to hear the official synopsis? Not the synopsis. Oh, you don't?
No, that's fine.
And the listener might want to though.
Oh, okay. Well, then you should.
Yeah, for them. Though she fantasizes about rescuing Batman from the Joker, Penguin, and Two-Face, Barbara Gordon has given up her double life as Batgirl. That is, until a rare cat statue is stolen from her university museum. All clues point to Catwoman as the thief, but when Batgirl investigates, she discovers another crook actually committed the crime. Teaming up, Batgirl and Catwoman discover Roland Daggett masterminded the scheme, and with a little assist from Robin, succeed in putting the villain away for good. The end. It was a little assist from Robin because he was kind of.
It was a very minimal
useless.
assist.
Oh my God, the Batman usefulness in this episode.
I'm ready to talk about it. I'm so ready.
I thought about like this is the final produced BTAS episode, and Batman is in for 3 seconds. Yeah. He's going. Sorry. Oh, no, Batman's not in it at all. Yeah, Bruce Wayne is in Paris going, I have to look at the Eiffel Tower out my hotel window for some reason. And then he hangs up the phone and talks to himself for a second. I sure hope Batgirl's not in over her head, he said to no one. Just like when he walked in his office in the first Hardak episode, he's like, I don't think so, to nobody, and goes in his little spinny
Sometimes he just likes to talk to himself.
He was in his
or maybe
Batman
he was talking
voice,
to the Eiffel Tower. What if there's some like surveillance equipment on the Eiffel Tower and he's like, I hope it's not over the head, and Eiffel Tower's like, Mel Lee.
Do not worry, Batman. Batgirl is doing okay.
And you slowly see a baguette rise up the Eiffel Tower and a bite gets taken out of it.
It's the Eiffel Tower itself is speaking to Batman.
Yeah.
It's like a Beauty and the Beast personified, like a live character. It's got big eyeballs and a like beret and cigarette and stuff. I sure hope Batgirl's not in over her head. And then the entire ground starts shaking as its mouth opens to tell him, like, do not worry, Batman. I am keeping an eye on her from up here. I can see all the way to Gotham City.
But Batman, bring me some more wine.
He's just, oh yeah, I got this free bottle with my room. I have a timeshare here in Paris. Oh boy. So
but we'll get to that later.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. They're spending so much time on Batman's non-appearance. This is a fun episode overall, I think.
Yeah.
It was pretty well animated. There was nothing that was like, ooh, that looks bad. There was maybe a couple moments in the bar fight that were a little lackluster compared to the rest of the episode for like no reason. Like the shot of Catwoman looping the guy's feet when he's like, ooh, you want to fuck? And she's like, to his legs. There's like one of those like comic book action line, like explosion of pencil lines when she does that. And there's again always feels out of place of like, that's not really happening. Why is it there? Or whatever.
I mean, do you remember that time with the swinging light?
I sure do.
Need I say more?
Yeah. No, you don't.
Comic book lines.
We've talked about it too much. Yeah. But yeah, it was good stuff. I like the Batgirl little theme song that plays whenever she's doing a cool thing.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah, thank you, Jordan, for telling us about that in the future. I'm sure he will. And then, I don't know. It was good.
It was really cool. I think we're in a habit now, and what?
It was keen, is what you meant.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. That is what I meant. Thank you.
We're in a habit now of interrupting each other. That's the start of this show. Anyway.
Interruption, the podcast.
A couple of assholes or whatever we call it.
I think, like, societally speaking, and it's probably always happened, but maybe now we're, like, becoming, especially you, old enough to...
Oh, man. It's my birthday tomorrow.
It is your birthday tomorrow. Becoming easier to recognize things from the past that are like, oh, that didn't age well.
Yeah.
This episode's exactly the opposite. Like, this is a very, like, pro-feminist episode. And
there was a lot of Robin was shitty in, like, a good way of, like, yeah, we don't need you, actually. Can you fuck off?
Yeah. And
what do you want, dick? Every time he walks on screen. Yeah.
Even Catwoman is just like, if we team up, like, we're literally going to be unstoppable. Because everybody else in this town, even Batman, like, kind of sucks. So think about it. And it wasn't in a, like, like social justice warrior kind of like, oh, this is a feminist episode. It was just like a very, like, to me, like, proper, like,
it wasn't in your face. It just
like,
existed. Like, I mean, most stuff, arguably most stuff that people call woke is just existing. And then you think, like, what the fuck? This exists? But this was a very good example of, just like, this is the episode. It's not like the title isn't like the girl time. It's time for girls. It was just like, I mean, the word girl, I guess, is literally in the title, but you know what I'm saying.
But that's a name.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not like, it's not being like, oh, like, we got to make women look good for the sake of making women look good. It's just like, no, like, chicks are awesome, and they're badass as hell, and that's just what it is.
And they were women, and then now they're not women anymore.
With Pride coming up, right? Yes.
It's always Pride, Brian. Yeah. At all times.
Well, I mean, I know what you're saying.
Yes, the month.
You get these companies doing the whole.
Yeah, I'm a rainbow now.
Oh well, hey, yeah, we're gay now. Blah blah blah.
I'm also a rainbow.
Yeah, to me, it's like that's such a weird, like, patronizing thing to just be. Oh well, now we're putting a rainbow on it because that's gonna show that we're cool, and it's like, well, that's not really the reality of it. It's some to me, it always felt like kind of a false support for a lot of companies.
I've always felt it's a little, I mean, this is getting into quite some stuff, but I've always felt like it's a little bit damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. Because, like, if you don't do the, like, hey, I'm a rainbow, then you're like, what, are you not a rainbow? And then if you do the rainbow, you're like, oh yeah, really, you're a rainbow? I don't think so. So, but whatever. I mean, we do it. We'll do rainbow watchtower logo or whatever, like we always do,
But I feel like there's, again, like, with different companies, like, when your company has, like, its own marketing division, that's where the line draws to me.
And Roland Daggett's was not, it would never do a rainbow.
He would never do a rainbow. My point, just wrapping this up, was to say, like, if you can do that, you can also maybe make, like, donations to proper outlets, which will, like, maybe better the queer community and, like, safety for the queer community. Like, maybe put in some effort in that way. Like, do the rainbow too, but, like, maybe don't just do a rainbow to be like, look, we're not going to get canceled because we have a rainbow. Yeah.
And I think that the Batgirl Catwoman motorcycle promo image perfectly exemplifies. I'm trying to bring it as a segue.
Great transition.
No, yeah, but so Batgirl Returns. There's a moment where Robin, on this kind of subject, there's a moment where Robin comes in. It's when Roland Daggett is dangling by a chain, and then Batgirl's like, I can barely hold on, and he comes in like, don't worry, you've had a long day or something. And we both kind of were like, huh? It's like, I don't know if that was supposed to be a early 90s joke about, like, oh, the man gotta come in and do the thing, or if it was an aware, pro-feminism, like, oh, Robin looks stupid for saying that, like we're aware of that, we're doing that on purpose. I feel like I lean toward it being that, but it's hard to tell in the stuff that you're saying about it aging well or not. But
yeah. Well, I also suppose like he's just always kind of a jackass.
Yeah.
Right? So like you can assume that line is a jackass line in some way, shape, or form.
Sure, yeah.
And like maybe it was her like Batgirl's physical capability that she like couldn't hold the guy because he's literally like 2 or more times her size.
Yeah.
And she just needed more of an anchor on it. Who knows?
Yeah, Roland Daggett, not quite as big as Rupert Murdoch, but he's a few suit sizes bigger than Bruce Wayne, except for in Harley's Holiday or whatever. When Robin breaks into or not breaks in, but he's also in the museum, and when he drops down and Batgirl's all pissed off that he showed up, it made me realize, like, I think as a kid I didn't know or didn't like clue into this because they don't just outright tell you in the expositional, here we are at Roland Daggett's place, like they do. I don't like, so Robin and Batgirl don't know like each other are Barbara Gordon and Dick Grayson. They're just also,
I was wondering.
Yeah, they just happen to both like, I'm also here near the school for some reason, and I look just like Dick Grayson with a mask on my face. Like if you put a little mask on like that, I'd be like, that's Brian. Like there's no, I'd be like, I wouldn't be like, who is this person, you know? But we had this disbelief, whatever. But it's just, because of that kind of thing of like, they see each other earlier in the episode at school, and then a thing is happening later in the episode at the same school. And then they're teaming up throughout the episode, and they never say like, gee, I would just wish I knew who you were or anything. So you're just thinking the whole, as a kid, I would not be surprised to learn that most kids probably thought like, yeah, of course, everyone on the Bat team knows who each other are or whatever. But no, not the case.
Wait a minute. Does Bruce know
so
that Barbara Gordon is Batgirl?
The end of Shadow of the Bat, they're all standing on the like police station stairs doing a little press talk or something.
Right.
And Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson are there, and they're like, you know, it's so nice to have Batgirl there. And then Bruce is like, oh, I think we'll probably be seeing her again soon. And they kind of like cheekily say that as if they might know it's Barbara, but they never outright say that, and there's no evidence in this episode that they know who she is. So they're either guessing or they don't know or care. I don't know.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, but there's my answer for it. You want to hear the cast of this episode?
I really do.
Now, this first one's incorrect. It says Kevin Conroy as Batman. Also, he's again just credited first because his name's in the title of the show. But Lauren Lester as Robin. Edward Asner as Roland Daggett. He was previously just credited as Ed Asner, is what most people would know him for. He's the old man in Up. Adrienne Barbeau as Catwoman. Melissa Gilbert as Batgirl. Roger Rose as Patrolman, which I think may be one of the police officers or something. He was previously Jaguar Shaman in The Worry Men. And additional voices in Robin's Reckoning Part 1. Yeah. And then last is Scott Valentine as Chemist. And he was previously Raymond Bell in Feet of Clay, who was the man that Batman stabbed the Batwing into his car and held him over the city. And, oh, Jesus fucking Christ, don't drop me.
Yeah.
And he dropped him in a pool or something. All returning voice actors in this episode.
That's
so I don't
cool.
get to list any Duckman Private Dicks for you this time.
Wait, there's no.
I didn't look. I'm sure there was. Someone, I'm sure. Roger Rose. Look up Roger Rose Duckman Private Dick. I don't know. It's probably there.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
What?
Yeah, he played Carbone in Duckman Private Dick.
Roger Rose? Hell yeah, yes. Perfect. Okay. When in doubt, it'll happen. It's always there.
I am so amazed by this.
Look, how many episodes in Duckman Private Dick?
71.
Whoa, okay.
Over 3 seasons.
Well, I guess that it helps explain it, but still. Are you a person living in Los Angeles? Come be on this show. You must. Oh, I don't care that you're not an actor. Come on in. You're on Duckman Private Dick /Family Man. Let me tell you the trivs. There's not a lot.
Give me the trivs.
The title, Batgirl Returns, of course, pays homage to Batman Returns, which has Catwoman as one of the main villains. The Penguin also briefly appears in this episode. in Batgirl's Wet Dream. According to Dan Reba, the chemist was
I
based
guess
on...
he is Batman in this episode.
You're right.
Oh, okay.
He's Dream Batman. Yeah. According to Dan Reba, the chemist was based on Captain Marvel villain Dr. Sivana. Dan initially drew the chemist character to be nearly identical to Dr. Sivana, then toned it down a little to not be as obvious, but it's still pretty obvious. Here is a picture of Dr. Sivana, if you can...
Oh, yeah.
He looks exactly like that guy. He's got the big teeth and everything, which is kind of cool. Captain Marvel, or modernly known as Shazam. There will be a couple other little Easter eggy things with him.
Okay.
Per Dan's appearance on Batman the Animated Podcast, a section of the fight scene in the stacked deck was animated uncredited by Peter Chung, most known for his work on Eon Flux and The Animatrix.
Whoa, that's cool.
It is cool. One of Dan Reba's largest concerns with this episode was that Batgirl should be cute and lively. With those aims in mind, he gave his board artist's copy of Owen Fitzgerald's Liz for inspiration. Liz was a character who occasionally appeared in the backup stories inside The Adventures of Bob Hope, a comic series that ran from 1950 to 1968. Are you Googling that?
No, I should.
Yeah, it's a kind of like a Tintin-looking comic just about like Bob Hope going on crazy like World War II-ish adventures. The triv was just that he used Liz for inspiration. Then I asked Dan, like, hey, I've been Googling, like, Owen Fitzgerald Liz and not finding anything. And then Dan, like, I used to have a CD-ROM full of, like, all the Bob Hope comics or something. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh,
like,
my God.
But then he found the exact issue, and I was able to look it up and find it. It's just kind of the way her, like, face is drawn in this is a little more... stylized than the last time we saw her where she made a big Woodrow face.
Okay.
But yeah. Catwoman calls Daggett an old friend, and Daggett claims it is wonderful to see her again, but they never met or interacted with each other in Cat Scratch Fever.
What? Is that true?
They're always, I think so. I think Catwoman interacted with those like Cruella DeVille goons in the alleyway with the trash cans, and then she interacted with Dr. Milo, who made the cat serum or whatever, the Three Stooges haircut guy.
Right.
And then she was just otherwise like walking through the forest. Help me, Batman. Oh, my mask is off. I'm making orgasm sounds in the forest. Yeah, I guess not. In the last episode, or this is the last episode of Batman the Animated Series to be produced, though there are still 7 to go in air date order, plus 1 bonus episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I know. I haven't told you about it yet. That's all it is.
Okay.
What was Batman's usefulness in this episode, Brian? If we're
Can we include Bruce into Batman's usefulness?
I mean, this is our first time where we've actually had the issue that will come up against on like other shows of like either Batman's not in the episode or really wasn't even important at all. Like, so if we're going by our past rules, he gets a 0. He didn't do shit. He almost kissed Batgirl in a dream that he wasn't really there for, and then he stood and talked to the Eiffel Tower. So, yeah, I'll give him 0 acid that somehow doesn't burn through Batgirl's gloves out of 10. I stole that for the joke from you, but that's okay. Do you want to explain what that moment, at least?
Yeah. So there is, some acid used to melt through like everything in order to steal this cat. You know, the lock to get into the place and the security alarm wire. You know, so there's an acid that dissolves metal, pretty severe stuff, and she just like dips her glove in it. Is like like doing the little like finger wipey sort of thing, like looking in the air, and they're like, it's some kind of like severely caustic acid. And she's like, so take your glove off before it burns through your skin, maybe.
Well, maybe it was just like the like residue or the flakies, you know, from it or whatever. But I don't know.
I mean, it looked like a puddle. There was flakies
it was
in a puddle.
supposed to be a liquid, I think, yeah. Also, that does make me think, though, who was implied to be the person that put the acid in the places and broke in and took the cat? Was it Roland Daggett himself? Or was it
probably
the
some cronies.
Chemist guy? Yeah, okay. Because obviously, like...
The Chemist didn't make it.
I guess not. Why? But he just knew local chemists. Was that his entire point?
Yeah.
Hey, you, Dr. Savannah from Captain Marvel. Do you know where acid is made in this town? Well, you could try the place where, like, he literally says, like, the names. You could try the place where the Joker was made, or you could try the place where Man-Bat was made, or you could try, and then he runs away.
he runs away yelling, Clayface!
Yeah. Oh, you could track the Clayface place. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Well,
from the episode Feet of Clay parts 1 through 2. It was episode 5 or something, and then 9 or something.
all right, so I'm gonna go slightly against your 0.
Uh-huh.
Because, and hear me
he
out
at least
here,
sent his thoughts and prayers toward Batgirl.
he wasn't helpful to the plot.
Yeah.
But he was in France doing some really good stuff
for
Wayne Enterprises. Without Wayne Enterprises making money, he wouldn't have the money to like employ like Earl to fix the Batmobile when he crashes it. So this is like pretty imperative to Batman still existing. Like
pretty
Wayne
imperative
Enterprises
to Earl still
money.
having a job.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give him 6.
Wow. Whoa. Hang on a second.
6 more months of Alfred being employed out of 10.
Not even from our expansion of this episode into lore.
Yes.
I did like the when the first or second shot of the episode are like panning through the museum. And it says like, the museum thing, it's November, whatever. And you just went, noi. Which is, like I said on the channel, we've said hoi. It just looks like, it does not look like Nav. It just looks, whoever drew that, be ashamed. There's an apostrophe in Riddler's Reform. And also, that made me remember, like, We've done a video on the something, I think it was to do with Catwoman's timeline or something like that. It was timelining something that we used this episode as evidence for being in November because of that. And in the video, I'm pretty sure that we said, and I might be wrong about this, so forgive me, but I'm pretty sure we said like, oh, it says November on the sign, but that was in Batgirl's dream, so who knows if that's actually like really the month. But then when I watched it this time, I don't think that scene is Batgirl's dream. I think the opening couple shots of the person stealing the cat.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Why would she be dreaming about someone stealing the cat and then they actually did? You would think she'd go like, holy shit, I just had a dream about this. This actually happened? Instead, she's like, interesting information I'm just now learning. I better go stop that. So I guess the dream starts with the shot of Batman landing on the roof and getting Emperor Palpatine by the Penguin's umbrella. You were like Cyclops when he got shot. So, Storm is here to fuck up Batman.
I know it didn't look like a Cyclops beam, but I just wanted it to be.
I feel like it made a very like X-Men-y sound effect too, like it had that.
Yeah, it just kind of came out of the side. You just heard.
Yeah, all the characters were swooping past the camera, and the big word X-Men was coming in, and then Batgirl was having a dream about the X-Men. That's a good segue into keen effects. There, the lightning coming off of the penguins. I did really like the lighting in Batgirl's dream in general, though. I don't know if that was supposed to be a giveaway that, hey, this isn't really happening, it's a dream, but everyone's shadows were like fully black, like deep shadows, and everyone was very moody up there on the roof. I liked it.
I guess it's fair. Yeah.
And then also
was
just
cool.
the shot of them almost kissing was very like artsy.
What do you think
about that?
They did that again. Wait, the dream scene?
Well, just the kissy part. Like, you were almost making a face of like, this isn't okay. And then when it was a dream, you're like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, had they kissed and it was real, what would be your reaction to this?
I feel like I'd need more of a story because that's just kind of...
Batgirl Returns. Also, in between last time and this time, she and Batman started dating or something. Yeah. They still don't know who each other are. Yeah.
Much to the chagrin of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy.
And Dick.
What do you want, Dick?
Sorry, what were you saying?
Keen effects. I also like that they had a callback to that deep shadow thing with the presentation of Rupert. Or not.
Oh, yeah. Rupert Murdoch himself. Rupert
Daggett. Oh, my God.
Roland. Keep those daggets rolling.
I'm not gonna remember.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
But yeah, with him like speaking, and you like, I was kind of confused because you saw this kind of half silhouette of a guy.
Yeah.
And there's like a gun kind of in the foreground, and you hear some talking, but the guy's face isn't moving. And then like Roland comes out of the shadows, and he's actually talking. You're like, oh, okay, I get it. But it was that same like pure black shadow that he kind of descends from.
There was some cool moments like that in this overall. Also in the almost got him bar, the deep shadows were in there too, and on Mr. Toothy, Dr. Tooth's face or whatever.
What about the? It has nothing to do with keen effects necessarily, but I love the whole like, let's get out of here, break through window rather than go through door.
You were like, the door's right there.
They didn't even throw a chair through it first.
No, that's only Batman. Only he has to do that.
Oh, okay.
Well, wasn't it? There was an exterior shot of the stacked dick where you were like, there was some sort of damage to the building, and I thought it was a window. I thought it was like a broken window or something.
Beneath the window, there was like a V of brick just completely missing. You could see like
you were
into the place.
Yeah. You were asking if that was something we saw in a previous... I guess I don't think so.
I was wondering if it was like canon or something. If that was damage from a fighter or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. It may be off screen or something. I just thought, when you said that, I thought like, oh, I didn't see it. I think it was a window. And then when they burst out the window, I was like, is this one of those like... I know this has happened before where like something... Oh, it's in a Justice League episode. There's a Justice League... I won't tell you what it is, but there's a Justice League episode where they have to put together a thing, and Superman is holding the completed thing in one of the shots, and then Batman takes the pieces, puts it together, and turns around dramatically to be like, here's the thing. And like, Superman already had that a second ago. Like they used the wrong prop model or something like that. But I feel like that was almost this, where they like break through the window that was already broken through. Yeah.
No, but they could have escaped through that hole. It was pretty sizable.
They went off the window. Yeah. There was more Keen stuff. They're driving in the motorcycle, the background going by. It was kind of Flintstones repeaty background, but it was still cool to see it like hand-drawn flowing past the camera and stuff. And I also really liked all the glow of the like brake lights on the motorcycle every time you saw it from behind.
It's super Akira.
The police lights. It was super Akira. It was trailing, drifting, whatever, tails of light. It wasn't that, but you know. The Roland Daggett scene of him coming out of the shadows, like you were talking about, a big bright light turns on, and I thought, oh, one of the thugs has like a flashlight or something. And then suddenly, when they cut to like a profile side view of them all, of the bad guys walking out of the shadows, one of them just has like a stage light or something. He just has like a studio light on a stand with like a rolling wheel stand. And we're like, what the fuck is this? Why do you have this? But then I don't know. Maybe it's from... when Clayface fucked up his like talk show segment that he was on, we just kept those. They're still here in the factory.
I mean, it's really good for intimidation.
Yeah. Hey, you! What are you doing here? I haven't seen you since Cat Scratch Fever. Don't look at this light. Is this episode books or hip hop? It's hip hop to me. Yeah, it's hip hop.
Same.
Do you put this on your top 10, Brian? You'll notice I changed all our top 10s to the actual names of the episodes.
What?
I was getting tired of being so confused what the fuck I was looking at.
Oh my god. Oh, I don't think so.
Okay, if you're thinking about it, I think I am going to put it at above Shadow the Bat.
Really?
So I think I'm going to make it my new 10.
Nice.
Batgirl Returns. I think this was overall just a much cleaner episode. Like, it just had no like glaring problems ever, and it had no moments where it just felt like oh my god, why are we stopped here for so long? Like, it just kept going. It was hip hop, you know. The pacing was good, is what I'm trying to say.
It's a super solid episode, and I mean, again, like, if it's the last one produced, like, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But yeah, it was right. It was great, artistically and storytelling wise, and character development and everything. Like, I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's gonna take over POV for me.
Yeah, I keep looking at that, and I still have two shuffles left, and we've got like 7 episodes or 8 episodes or whatever now of this show left.
Yeah.
You'll note that I left Jim, who is a butthole, and Burr, I'm old because my heart is silicon. But I did not. Yeah. But yeah, it's time for the mail now.
Let's
okay?
do some
When we
mail.
come back from the mail, we'll tell Brian, we'll tell Brian the name of the next episode, and he has to guess what it's about, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
That yacht. That one small extra yacht put it over.
We drop
What we drop?
our weekly yachts
Oh yeah, those.
into the comments
We-
box first. There sure was a lot.
Now Jamie's mad.
Too bad we're all
At least I am.
just Dylan Pollock.
Yay.
Beautiful. I'd sing along with you if it was in time in my
If we were
world.
in time, if we were here together in time. If you'd like to reach out to us like the FIR hand at the end of the Cat in the Claw Part 2, that was so long
Look it
ago.
up. It's real.
It's real. We're not making this shit up. You can email batwagonpod@gmail.com. If you're going to send a voice message, please keep it under 60 seconds, one per person, just for the link to the show. You can and should also leave us a comment on today's episode on the Podtower YouTube channel. And I've moved this to here because it's more relevant here. And please, if you send in mail or leave a comment, do not spoil anything past this episode for Brian. Okay?
Please and thank you.
This first one comes from Dylan Pollock. Is Catwoman the villain here or catpitalism? And it says, you read that bad pun, James. It has to download. What the hell's with this?
It's science. You should ask Mr. Chemist Tooth.
Mr. Chemist Tooth, I presume. I also liked Roland Daggett being very anti-Dr. Evil. Like, what? Are you just going to make the acid eat the rope away really slowly and leave the room like a jackass? And
He's like, "No, I'm going to
actually,
shoot
I'm going
you."
to shoot you. I'm Scott Evil." Okay, here's Dylan's message.
It's time for the Thoughts of the Week from Dylan Pollock on Batgirl Returns, or I guess that Gil Mason is still a vegetable. Or dead. Batgirl's Batarang cuts directly through Catwoman's whip. Are these things just slicing people up with ease on impact? Because whips are pretty tough. Tougher than skin. Catwoman leaves a note for Barbara. Does everyone know who Batgirl is? Maybe Gil's not a vegetable. We know why Batman and Robin don't use guns, but do we have any reason why Catwoman and Batgirl don't use guns multiple times in this episode? A big not how that works. Catwoman's whip changes size as need be from normal to able to wrap around a tall building across from the roof she's on.
Oh my God, Dylan.
Also, do you think those cops even tell Gordon about losing Catwoman like that, or do they just pretend it never happened? Because pretty embarrassing when you get back to the squad room.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Time for
lost
the
a
question
car.
of the week, James' favorite part.
Oh, that's my favorite part. Hang on.
In honor of The Flash, Indiana Jones 5, and most movies coming out today, who's an actor you'd like to see come back as a character just one more time? Being an Evil Dead fan, I'm always down for one more go-around of Bruce Campbell as Ash, or I'd love to see Doc and Marty from Back to the Future back again in some way, but there's no good way to make another Back to the Future. I'm rambling now. You tell me.
Oh, we got Michael Keaton coming back in the Flash movie. But I've never been like super uber Michael Keaton Batman. Yeah, he's the best Batman. I love him. So it's cool to see him though. I don't know. I mean, Brian and I are both pretty anti like reboot, sequel, blah 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 in terms of like nostalgia, see a person again. But it was really cool to see Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man in the most recent Spider-Man movie. But someone that hasn't come back that I would want to see, I don't know.
Brandon Lee and The Crow.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen. I want to see Danny Glover's character from Predator 2. The Predators either leave him a gun or take him with them at the end. I can't remember which one is true. So maybe there's a canonical reason we never saw him again. But you know, Predator 2, fantastic movie. We also just keep getting these all the time. Like Patrick Stewart. Was just back for 3 seasons of Star Trek Picard, Mark Hamill in Star Wars, blah, blah, blah. I'd like to see Shaquille O'Neal come back as Steel again. We got all the Jurassic Park guys again last year, too, but that was kind of a bad movie. So
Okay, I got it. It's not a movie, it's a TV show. Does that count?
Sure, yeah. I'm Dylan.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge in Fleabag.
Didn't that just recently end? Is that long enough ago to be like, I'd like to see more of that? I agree. I'm just saying.
That would be so worth it.
Yeah. Well, if we can count stuff. I was listening to a Battlestar Galactica podcast where they had Katie Sackhoff on as a guest, and she was talking about how people ask her all the time if she would come back as her character from that show, and that she was like, no, because I'm like 20 years older and I don't know if I could even play the character correctly anymore, and I'd have moved on from that and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, good for you. Because then that's more assurance that they won't try to like, oh, here's a new season or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Way later. Dylan made a good point about the cops. It reminded me that I think the redheaded cop that's like being all like, oh my god, I think that's the rando from POV, the non-main character cop character of the three cops.
Really?
There's Bullock and Montoya and that guy. I'm pretty sure it was the same guy.
What are the chances?
Yeah, I know.
Pretty
they probably
good.
just chose a random cop. Like, oh, cop number 4 on the model sheets. Oh, it just happened to be that guy or whatever. The Batarang going through the whip was like, I thought that as it happened, but I was like, whatever. It's the cartoon Batman. This is Scarlowy 1, Jump on the Mechanic Wagon. Season 2, episode 12.
Hello, listener, and welcome to Jump on the Mechanic Wagon. I'm your host, Scarlowy1. In this episode, I will tell you about Season 2, Episode 12 of Earl, the animated series.
Yes!
The King Returns.
Oh.
Earl hears a knock at his door. When he opened it, the Sewer King was there, and he started talking. Hello, Mr. Cooper. The Penguin told me that you built the Batmobile, so I came here to ask you to build me the Sewermobile. Yes.
Sewermobile.
It needs lots of seating for my beloved children. Also would love if the wheels were manhole covers. I don't have much money, but I can pay you in children. By the way, can it be alligator powered? Or I'll slam the door in the face of the Sewer King. The end.
Alligator powered.
I don't think I've talked about the theme song yet. Michael Jackson singing is great, of course, but the fact that they use a smoke alarm as an instrument kind of ruins it for me. Anyway, see you next week. Same TV time, same poo-poo channel.
Is it the actual alarm from the smoke alarm, or is it just that beep, like change your battery? Not even intentional. They just filmed it in a room with a dying smoke alarm.
Oh my god.
The sewer mobile sounds gross.
Yeah.
Don't pay in children also. This is from Quinlan Jones, which I think we've had once or twice before. Mm-hmm. A bit of a Yoppie situation. Hey, Slim Jim Smoothie and Brambleberry Bunt Cake. Second time writing in. Second time. Okay. Hope life has been great in the meantime. It's been just fine. A bit of an explainer for this one, but trust me, I feel like it's a situation that only this community can relate to. I was listening to a first-time playthrough of a streamer playing Batman Arkham Asylum, kind of half paying attention when a news broadcast comes in over the radio in Arkham. News anchor says something, over to Jack Ryder, and Gotham City News Jack Ryder begins speaking, and my brain full stops and is like, this is wrong. It took me a second to place my finger on what pulled me out of the actual work and stopped me dead in my tracks. When I heard Jack Ryder, there was genuinely only a single voice that came into my head as to who that should be, Jordan Blumen. I can't even think as to what any actual DCAU Jack Ryder line sounds like, and hearing not Jordan voicing him in the game felt weird. Can anyone else relate to this community, or in this community relate to this issue? Can all forward-moving DC animated and live-action projects that plan to use Jack Ryder please just have Jordan do it from now on? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm sure this applies to no one. Love the show, love the community. Keep yopping that yop, and don't forget to yop it like it's yop. Q. Thank you so much. I agree. I just always, when we get to Jack Ryder finally in the show, then it'll be like, this is not right. This isn't Jordan Blumen.
Jordan's just larger than life. I love it.
This next one comes from Jordan Blumen. GCN Musical Minute. Batgirl Returns.
You're listening to GCN, Gotham City News with Jack Ryder.
Damn right I am.
Tonight's top story, the Jade Cat statue was stolen from a museum today by... Gotta be Catwoman, right? Let me turn the page here. Daggett? Oh, that's a twist. Fortunately, the scheme was thwarted by Robin and... I'm sorry, Summer, I think there's a typo here. This says Batgirl, not Batman. There has? Since when? Why didn't you tell me this? Now I look stupid, Summer.
And Catwoman.
Now over to the music. I love hearing the Catwoman theme and the Batgirl theme.
Yeah.
They're both great. The Catwoman theme is one of my all-time favorite villain leitmotifs from Batman the Animated Series. I loved hearing both of those in this episode. It was a lot of fun. Never apologize for loving your fandom and try to stay optimistic.
I will. You too. I wish I could remember what Catwoman's theme was, because I was kind of listening to see if she had one, and I'm sure I heard it several times, but did not register at all.
We're bad at that.
Yeah.
Because we got a Jordan. We don't need
We got a Jordan. I thought about that last episode, though. I was like, oh, we should add music as like a thing that we purposely talk about. But then Jordan becomes obsolete, so we got to just keep Jordan around, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, no one can just say the same things that we say, Dylan Pollock. Scotty Cameron, Roland Daggett returns. Hey, Yoppie dudes, great show as always. Are you ready for the long-awaited return of Roland Daggett? I know we were all waiting for him to come back. Man, this episode is reliant on viewers having watched Cat Scratch Fever. I mean, both Catwoman, yeah, a terrible episode. Both Catwoman and Daggett's motives in this episode are derived from that one. Okay, I'm dancing around the subject. This is the return of Batgirl and the origin of the worst ship in Batman history. This episode is a perfect example of why we need a Robin's usefulness scale and a Batgirl's usefulness, because it's not fair to give Batman 0 out of 10. Well, I did it anyway.
Don't worry, I didn't.
Make Him Laugh is my brother's least favorite episode because he hates the original villains, particularly Mighty Mom, I think you mean Rolling Pin, who made him groan, especially when she spanked Robin. Make him laugh in the underdwellers of the episodes I put on to torture my brother. The Sewer King one. Lastly, a bit of a life update. I just had finals this past week, and I earned a scholarship for my final semester of college next fall. Stay Yoppie, Scotty. Good job.
Well done.
Keen Machine. Make Him Laugh, Batgirl Returns.
Wait, did we finally get the end to this riddle that we...
See, this is the thing. I read this, I pre-read this one because I wanted to make sure there wasn't some sort of like, oh, I've actually been in the hospital because they've been gone. And there's not, but there was a reference to that riddle, and I was like, oh yeah, we didn't fucking solve the riddle. And I've already archived the emails that the riddle was inside. So if you could just tell us what the riddle was, that'd be great. Greetings, Jimmy Neutron and Britannica Encyclopedia. I keep failing to sit down and write a proper email to you, just as you failed to ever solve my riddle. So I guess we'll call it even. I've enjoyed these past few. Maybe you're just waiting on us. I've enjoyed these past few episodes. I love that we picked up a few new listeners along the way. I say we because in the end, we're all just sock puppet accounts for Dylan Pollock, who this whole podcast is really about.
Yes.
Welcome aboard, everyone. It's keen to hear your input, and I hope you stick around. Make 'Em Laugh is an all-right episode, but I agree it doesn't have the oomph to really push it past average. Batgirl Returns is a better episode, a fun team-up, a mystery, and the continuation of several plot lines. Jumping back to the Baby Doll episode really quickly, I don't know if you've ever heard of the 1997 animated film Cats Don't Dance. Yes, I have. But I choose to believe that the terrifying little girl in that movie, Darla Dimple, was modeled after Baby Doll's character with the evil dial turned up to an 11. I literally remember nothing about that movie except how scary that girl was. Phew, I just feel I needed to get that off my chest. I googled this Darla Dimple, and she is very, very similar looking to Baby Doll. Hopefully I can get back into the groove of sending in messages regularly again soon. May your days and nights be keen, along with all things in between. Keep it keen machine. Thank you, you as well. Real quick, I don't think I mentioned this on the podcast itself, but I've stopped saying that you can send in a voice message on Anchor because Anchor has now become Spotify for podcasters or something like that. And playback of the voice messages is very choppy and weird, and I don't know when they're going to fix that. So if you've sent in a voice message on not Anchor, you should instead just send it as an email. So I apologize for any that have not been played here on the show if you've sent something in the last couple episodes. Let's go over to comments on the last episode. This is Jump on the Bat-Wagon, episode 77, Make 'Em Laugh, or Mr. Freeze's Fuzzy Milk. Banana Boy says okay.
Okay.
And we got to figure out if he's banana related. Banana Man, nuclear family.
We should certainly try to find that out. I don't know how we would.
I don't think we will. Nick Sorensen, how I've relished getting to this episode. The introduction of one of the greatest adversaries ever conceived for the Dark Knight, the Prince of Pickles, the Sultan of Sauce, the dreaded Condiment King. His debut in this series is a much refreshing change of pace from all the other overrated Batman villains we've seen so far. A very compelling villain whose first confrontation with Batman never fails to have me on the edge of my seat and is easily one of the best animated fights in the entire DCAU Oh, I'm not fooling anyone. We all know it's just another Joker episode and that Condiment King's not a real villain, but still another fun episode from the latter half of BTAS and one that I think lives up to its title, to make 'em laugh.
Yeah.
Charles Motosierra. Regarding Batgirl Returns, a.k.a. the one where Batgirl, Catwoman, Daggett, and Dr. Savannah all return. Awesome episode. Great action. Robin was actually useful, although he is so dumb he was prepared to chase a car on foot like a fucking dog. And Barbara, he just ran off. Yeah. Barbara and Catwoman have a great dynamic. Definitely the weakest Daggett episode. Not the weakest one he's in, but the one where he is the weakest. He is the least interesting of the two Kingpin copycats in the show, the other being Rupert Murdoch. And I really like how he is used in Appointment in Crime Alley, and especially Clayface parts 1 through 2. Maybe it could have been more fun if they used another villain. I don't know. Also, Selena straight up tries to kill a random thug. Okay, then. How I don't remember that. What was happening in the bar fight that you... Oh, no, it was Dylan Pollock saying, like, why didn't they just use guns? Yeah, I don't know. And they, oh, no, it was during the episode you said, like, oh, they could fight an entire bar full of guys, but they can't take these two guys that are walking slowly towards them.
Yeah.
And I was like, they have guns. The other guys had guns, too. Oh, yeah. So I don't know. How the hell did the bike make that jump, though?
Have you seen the movie Speed?
Yeah, they did a wheelie. There was a bus, actually. The motorcycle can't go under 50 miles an hour. Overall, great job, Danny and Michael. Rest in peace, bro. Yeah, it's Michael Reeves is no longer. It was like a month or two ago that he passed away. The only really bad thing about this episode it's the BTAS finale, and it doesn't have the big finale energy of some of the other DCAU finales have. Yeah, well, that's because we're watching in airdate order, so it won't be any different. Batgirl Fangirl, I've been waiting for this. Mm-hmm. Wow, Bruce was so pivotal in this one. You can't deny things would be pretty grim if his business trip went awry. Probably the most useful in any episode. Great podcast, guys. 5 stars. Okay, I'll do it properly. So we're finally here. Batgirl Returns, my favorite episode of BTAS. Warning, totally biased comment to follow. So I really love this one. Yeah, this is just what we do. A couple assholes. I really love this one. I do like how Barbara, who gets called Babs for, I believe, the only time in the DCAU, goes on this adventure essentially as she's bored. We get an awesome team up with Batgirl and Catwoman, with the latter being used, in my opinion, the best in BTAS to this point. I would probably agree. Catwoman otherwise was pretty like one note random thing, or just like fawning over Batman. No, the Batgirl gets to do that this time. Robin was used in an effective way as well. I did miss Commissioner Gordon. I do like all the callbacks to previous episodes, such as Cat Scratch Fever, Pav, the rookie cop at the end. Okay, so you got it too.
Nice, well done.
Feet of Clay, Shadow of the Bat, etc., and all their musical cues. The animation was so keen, great use of light and shadow. The fight sequences throughout were done especially well. Love the opening with Batgirl's dream sequence. It was occasionally a little cartoony, but for this episode, I thought it worked well. Dan Reba and his team did an excellent job. Even with all those, I don't know why, but it reminds me that when Catwoman like jumps away out of the museum and Robin, he shoots a grapple and then grabs Batgirl and she's like, wait, she's not trying to, and then they go off screen. I'm like, you're still right next to him. Like, you could just keep talking. Yeah. Even with all those Penguin episodes, we still haven't gotten to my least favorite BTAS episode. I'm looking forward to Brian seeing that one as well.
What?
I think I probably know what she's talking about. Nice messages, Scarloey 1, Dylan, and Jordan. Brilliant podcast, guys. 5 stars and 5 jade cat statues with a little clip in the back to hook onto Catwoman's belt emojis. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, like how that was just going on there.
I did.
And it's just like priceless jewel or whatever.
It's remarkable that didn't get broken.
Yeah, even with all the people stumbling to get it. Last first is Mark Aquino. Is it just me, or does Batgirl have really good chemistry with Catwoman? At least better chemistry than she does with Dick, that's for sure. Obviously, Harley and Ivy have been a thing for a few years now, but I'm surprised no one shipped Barbara and Selena yet, as far as I know. Maybe this might change that. Who knows? This podcast will change that for sure. The entire world. Anyway, I dug this episode overall. It was really great to see Batgirl again, as well as hear her theme. And if memory is correct, I believe this is the last time we see Roland Daggett, played by old Carl Fredrickson himself, Ed Asner. Rest in peace. Boss Biggest Bear Hugs, the #1 podcast host, and this is your Multiverse of Ours Journey to the Center of the Earth, and Bippy Boy. Summertime has finally arrived, so I'm curious, What are each of you looking forward to the most this summer? It could be a movie or two, concert, vacation, special event, whatever. I'm looking forward to going on a no-tech camp out with Brian at some point.
That'll be good. Definitely some concerts. And Kindle Northwest, the fire spinning festival on the Oregon coast that I help with.
That's cool. You sound very excited about it.
I'm incredibly excited. I'm just also incredibly exhausted right now.
Yeah. From Mark Aquino's comment, clearly. And it continues in one last little paragraph here. I have a proposal. Oh, and okay. So you're either going to like this or hate this based on what we talked about earlier. I have a proposal to said number one podcast host in this here multiverse of ours. All throughout the month of June, for every reference that Bri doesn't understand, seeing as it's been established that he's older than creation itself, he has to put $1 into a jar, and at the end of the month, all the money in said jar should go to a charity. How does that sound? Let me know.
That sounds great.
That sounds great. I'll provide the money. How about that? And then you'll be constantly going like, well, I don't know what you're talking about.
Who's Batman?
Yeah, just the most easy, like, the Joker? I don't get it.
Is he a man or is he a bat?
Is he a Batman?
He both? Is he a
God.
mutant? Is this X-Men? What's X-Men?
The last video that we put out on the channel. I was talking about like, why is Killer Croc look like how he is? Like, why is he all bumpy and scaly and whatever? And in the episode, Batman's like, I'm looking at this tiny glove under a microscope, and it's almost reptilian and all this stuff. And so I talk about that for a little bit, and I say, like, well, like, I guess it's not impossible. It's not out of the question that, a human could be, like, spliced with animal DNA. Like, we've seen that on the show a few times. Like, in the very first episode, Batman fights some sort of giant half man, half bat creature, like some kind of Batman. I don't know. Comment below if you got a better name for him. And there are so many comments of people going, does he seriously not know who Man-Bat is? And there's all this stuff. And I'm just like, keep them coming. Just keep commenting. Like, Jesus Christ. Okay, how more sarcastic can I be?
I mean, if these people don't understand the depth of your knowledge, then are they really subscribers?
Yeah, did you watch the whole video and go like, well, this person that I've just listened to for half an hour must not be aware of the character of Man-Bat. Yeah. Must not be his favorite or second favorite episode of the show. Okay. Incredible. That's the end. That's it.
Let's go take naps.
Oh, okay. First, I got to tell you the name of the next episode.
Nap time for Bri.
What if? It is called Lockup.
I don't understand this.
Oh, whoops. I got to put $1 in a jar. What do you think Lockup is?
Okay. Well, the easy would be that it's like somebody getting arrested.
Uh-huh.
I would suspect if it is going to be that easy, that it would be somebody you wouldn't expect to be arrested.
Oh. Commissioner Gordon.
We've seen that one.
You're right. I was like, oh, who's the least likely? Someone that's already been framed for a thing, like at least once.
Oh, my God. Or could it be like a little misleading and it's not somebody going to jail, but kind of like a quarantine sort of situation?
What if I told you Lockup is the name of the villain?
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh, God.
It's one of those Maxi Zeus, Sewer King, etc.'s.
Okay.
Nostromos, one of those one-offs. But what do you think he does? What does he do and why?
He's a locksmith.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
I think my poker face on these is pretty goddamn terrible, to where if you guess wrong, I go like, oh, interesting. If you guess right, I go like, yup. Like, I'll just tell you immediately. I can't ever hold back.
Oh, so he's not a locksmith or like a lock?
No.
Oh.
I mean, his gimmick is related to locks in a way.
Okay.
I don't know.
He's got his DNA spliced with a lock.
With a lock. It's not out of the question. We saw a half lock, half man in the first. Yeah, all right. That'll be next week. Lockup. If you want to hear more discussion about this episode, Batgirl Returns, you can check out the DCAU review and Timm Talk podcasts, also available on the Podtower YouTube channel, just like this podcast. Thank you to Kimmy, Cooney Phoenix, Kviltsu, and of course, Brother Kabrodrick for all our musical themes. Please subscribe to the Podtower YouTube channel for all new DCAU podcasts every week. Leave us a like over there on today's episode to help spread us around the interwebs. And please leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. You may hear your review read on the show. Now, I did recently listen to Conan O'Brien's podcast I've been listening to. Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. And his host at the end going through this kind of spiel, he specifically says, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, which makes me wonder if other platforms don't allow you to leave such a review, because otherwise, why wouldn't they say, on whatever?
That would.
If you listen to this on non-Apple Podcasts and you know of a way to rate it 5 stars.
Oh, I mean, you can rate on Spotify.
Okay, I believe you. I don't have Spotify. I don't know. I'm old. I'm 32 tomorrow. New episodes of the podcast are released every Friday on the Podtower, as well as your favorite podcast feed and watchtowerdatabase.com. And that's the show,
baby.
That was supposed to be the applause button, but I'll take it. Lock up next week. We're going to lock Brian up and throw away the goddamn key, okay?
Wahoo.
And then he'll be like, but I only had 7 episodes after this of Batman, and I'm so sad I didn't get to finish the show. But we'll be like, that's okay.
That's it.
The end.
Thanks for listening, listener. Bye.
You should have said yes.
If I had, I'd be a rat with wings.
I knew you had Catwoman on a leash all along.
You're a lousy liar, but thanks for trying.
Are you guys all right?
Yeah.
I said I'd let them take me, but I didn't say how far.
It's okay. There'll be another time.